Friday. It is the day of the College World Series for Tennessee, for Florida State, for Virginia, for North Carolina. Day one today in Omaha kicks off here, or I guess doesn't kick off. First pitch coming up here in the next hour and a half today. Virginia versus North Carolina first, but tonight, Tennessee, Florida State, 7 o'clock. Chris Stamos for Tennessee, Jamie Arnold for Florida State. You looked at on paper, it's not necessarily uh, a dynamite matchup for Tennessee, but of course, going to their plan as they do, Stamos is meant to be the opener. He'll turn it over to AJ Causey at that point, and then they'll go from there. But keys to victory tonight, and I'll talk about Stamos and Causey. To me, the big thing is for Stamos to get out. Basically, we've seen it the last couple of weeks. He'll have a good inning, and then it's like he starts hanging pitches, and it's things I don't think Tony Vitello and Frank Anderson, they can be prepared to have Causey ready, but I don't think they can prepare because it's been so quick. He'll be rolling, and then he hangs a pitch. He'll hang a pitch. And that's been what's gotten him in trouble each of his opener starts. When he's gotten in trouble, he's not always gotten in trouble. He's had some good outings. Don't get me wrong. It's worked, or they would not still be doing it. But if you're Tennessee, you cannot afford to get in a hole tonight with this is a dangerous lineup. It's one of the best pitchers in college baseball this year. And, you can't, you've got to have Causey ready just in case. I mean, if it's a couple batters and he's struggling, I would not hesitate to pull him. I just wouldn't. And they had to do it against Northern Kentucky. They had to pull him early. Last week against Evansville, he rolled through the first inning, struck out the side, and in the second inning, they had to get him out. So you got to minimize that damage. Ideally, he gets through the lineup one time. Ideally, you go maybe into the third inning with him, and then that allows Causey, if the offense is doing their thing, I'll get to the offense in a minute, but if Stamos could get into the third inning, turn it over to Causey, and then let him make way to get it to Aaron Combs. I think that's a pretty good recipe for success for Tennessee. If they can do that tonight, they're doing pretty well. Because if Causey does what he's been doing, since those Georgia and Auburn games, I think you got to feel pretty confident that if this offense will give him some cushion, that he can get it to Aaron Combs to ice that thing down. Number two, a look at the offense tonight. Again, you're facing one of the best pitchers in college baseball, a guy who's going to be a first-round pick next year when he comes out. He's averaging over 8.5 strikeouts per game. He's a left-hander. He's predominantly fastball slider. He does have a changeup, but from what I've read on that changeup, he doesn't use it often. So it's not, I don't know if it's just something, it's not a good pitch for him or if he's not comfortable with it or what. But looking at his highlights when I've seen him, he can get up to about 96. I think I've seen he's even touched up to 97. So it's a guy that throws hard. He does have that good slider. It's a quick breaker, it looks like to me. I was looking at highlights from the Virginia game in the ACC tournament when they played them. Because I wanted to see, kind of how he did against some of the better competition. Virginia's, got a heck of an offense. So can't remember how many strikeouts he had that game, but it was mainly off the slider. There was a couple of them on the fastball, but most of them come on that slider. So what I like for Tennessee, and it seems to me that this type of guy is a guy they can hit. And it's no disrespect. It's just the guys who, to me, have given Tennessee trouble are more of your 50-50 slider and, maybe around 90 or so fastball. Those type guys who I wouldn't call them necessarily a jump ball pitcher, but they're more off-speed guys. Those, to me, have given Tennessee more trouble. And I really have felt, I know people have looked at lefty. They look at freaking Ackerhausen from LSU, and I cannot figure out why Tennessee can't hit that guy because he does not have elite stuff. But he's had their number 3 times now in the last year. They got a couple runs off of him in Lindsey Nelson earlier in the year. But still, it was a pretty solid outing for him in 4 innings. But, it's one of those things. You look at Evansville's pitchers, like Deverman, their ace. I mean, he, the week before against East Carolina, went, 8 innings of 1-run ball. Tennessee chased him pretty early. I feel like they've had pretty good luck with left-handers this year. And I think part of it is, of course, your righty on lefty is an advantage to the right-hander. seeing those matchup. Now they got to be careful with that slider tonight, how I've seen it, because it can break quick inside on you. But if this guy makes a mistake, Tennessee they've got to capitalize. And I say if he doesn't make many of them. I feel like where Tennessee excels is their lefty on lefty is better than their righty on righty part of the lineup. I feel like their righties have struggled against righties, where guys like Burke, Dreiling, Tiers, Bargo last week against lefty. These guys, I think that's your lineup. Bargo's going to DH tonight. I think that's pretty much a given after his two home run effort against Evansville. That's I like where they're at lefty on lefty better again than their righty on righty matchups. I thought because I didn't think Evansville was bringing in that stout of a bullpen, but their guys on Sunday I think were gassed. But you look at what they did on Saturday, man. Their bullpen was excellent. Their bullpen really got themselves in trouble with walks. Or, that game's probably not as close as it indicates. And, here's a big one for me tonight. If Tennessee, there's two of my keys. If Tennessee's going to win this College World Series, number one, obviously we're Tennessee fans. We want Tennessee to win on it. Number two, I really get tired of programs like a bum-ass program like South Carolina. Zero championships. They've been irrelevant since. For about 10 years now, basically. And yet that's what they've got. I'm tired of seeing that from some of these other programs around. Zero championship. At some point, we talk about it, everything school. Tennessee has got to get not just a conference championship. That's great and all. They've got to get a national championship or something. Does that mean the season's a failure if they don't get? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But this team seems to me like with their mindset, with their mental makeup, that they're a team that can get this done this year. But a key in 6 College World Series appearances, Tennessee is 1-5 in opening games. They're 0-2 under Tony Vitello in opening games of the College World Series. Going back to 2005, they lost. I think the only one they won was in 1951. So, we're looking here at 73 years since they've won in the opening game of the College World Series. That's pretty long time, guys. In that one, they were the runner-up. The rest of these, they've never been the runner-up. They do have multiple wins in a couple of their appearances, if I'm not mistaken. But, 0 for their last 5 in first-round games of the College World Series, first games of it. Feel for this Tennessee team to have a shot to get to the championship series. I don't know. They could lose tonight and still make it, but I really feel like for the mental mindset of this program, they need to get this win tonight. Will it be easy? No. There's not going to be an easy game in this College World Series. There's 8 really good teams in this College World Series right now. There are, 7 number 1 seeds, and then you had Florida, who was preseason number 2 in some polls, and they've put it together right now. So, this is a pretty tough field, as it should be, and as it should not be surprising about. So, your Tennessee, do you have more depth pitching-wise than other teams? Possibly. Looking at Florida State's pitching staff. But Florida State has with their starter tonight and with their bullpen guy, Oxford Late, if they give those guys a lead, Tennessee's going to have a hard time with it as well. You've got to get a win tonight. I really feel that way with it. Regardless of what happens on Sunday, I think you got to win tonight. So if they win tonight, of course, they would play, regardless, they're either going to play Virginia or North Carolina on Sunday. If they lose, it'll be, 1 o'clock. And if they win, it'll be in the evening. So, we'll see how that goes. But, just the mental mind. Do what you've done up there. Do what you did last week. When they faced lefties, they made lefties pay. You're going to see, I think, what's playing into Tennessee's hands. And in Arnold's last outing against UConn, they got some run. They had some success against him. So you got to think Tennessee has looked at tape on what UConn was able to do against Jamie Arnold, because I feel like based on what I saw that they've had more success than anyone, and that was just a week ago. So, and Arnold's not on his regular week's rest. He's coming back a night early because he's been going second in the rotation, at least the last couple of weeks from what I've seen. And I'm predicting the good guys out on top. Not Florida State's bad guys by any means, but I'm predicting Tennessee to get that win tonight to make it 2-5 in 7 College World Series appearances in first game. I'm predicting them to get out of. I'm picking this team to win it all. I feel really good about where they're at. And we'll visit Sunday when Sunday comes around. Not had any coverage the last couple of days. I did a preview earlier in the week. Just kind of update you where the channel's going. I'm going live tonight after the game. I've got 7 weeks of freedom coming up right now. I am done for the summer, teaching wise. I am without a doubt going to provide a ton of coverage moving forward because I do not have. I finally got what I've been looking for. Getting to this summer break to work on. Took on a couple extra weeks for a little extra pay, but 7 weeks of freedom now. And so I can really, in my free time, my time I set aside, really provide some good stuff on here. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. Lots to come, but I hope to see you later tonight. We hit 100 last week against Evansville. Let's hope we hit it again tonight and keep on rolling with this thing. But I hope you enjoy the coverage. Hope you have a great Friday. Make sure you share. If you enjoy the content, you like what's being put out there, make sure you subscribe. And if you just want to give that thanks down that bottom right corner, there's that super thanks option as well. But my name's Frank Rock. This is the House of Orange Sports Channel. Once again, I hope you have a great Friday. I'll see you tonight. And last but not least, go Vols.